Okay, Everywhere I Go by the Black Keys. This is a good one to work on your finger picking one on this one. So if you're a beginner and you're just starting out at finger picking, take it nice and slow. And I would mainly, for me personally, I put my index finger on the G string and my middle finger on the B string and my ring finger on the top E string. That's the way I play it. You can play it any old way that's most comfortable, but that's the most like. And I use my thumb to hit like the bass note. So I don't even think on this string I hit the bottom E, so you're gonna be hitting the open A a lot. Because if you listen to it, the most important thing about this song is the groove. All the other licks and stuff like that are all going to be derived out of the A minor pentatonic, so you can make it any old way you want. I mean, if you watch Dan play it live, it's like any other musician. It's going to be different every time. So I wouldn't become too focused on oh, I want to make it sound exactly like the recording, because it's really, this particular song is about the groove and the feeling, and the more you listen to the drums and get into it, you'll see what I mean. But so it starts off. This is what it sounds like kind of in the beginning. The main groove is like. Okay, so give the drums. Make sure you listen to the drums, and you're just really kind of droning on that open A string. That's going to be your bass. You're kind of playing a bass and a lead at the same time. So give that a good listen. So the groove is we're going to do the fifth fret of the B string. I'm just going to show you that first. So we got that. Right, so fifth fret on the B string, seventh fret G string, fifth fret G string, back to the seventh fret G string, back to the fifth fret G string, to the A note, which is the seventh fret of the D string, right? Right? And then you add that A, then start getting the A going. When you're hammering onto that A right there on the D string, you're hitting the open A along with it, so fatten it up and make it sound good, right? That's really the most important thing of the whole song, is to get that groove down nice and smooth, and then really, like I was saying, really listen to the drums, because the more you get into kind of that drum beat, it really kind of can put you into a trance, and you can really start to feel that groove. Really, that's really the main song. And then I'll show you there's the part where he sings. So you got the groove going, right? So it's kind of like a call and response. You can pick out the vocal notes for one phrase, right? And then go back to the groove. So the first is it's basically just going where he says, everywhere I go. You're just going from fifth fret, seventh fret on that A note on the D string to the, just like that. So it sounds like. And the second time, it's the same thing. 7 on the D, 5 on the G, 7 on the G. It's at the second time, instead of just staying there, he goes, pull off. Right? So if you put that first verse together, you'd have the groove. right? So that's the first verse. The second verse, he goes up a little higher on the vocal, so it's still the main. You'll hear, carrying on that groove that we've gone over. Then the second verse that he goes through, he does. So it's the same as before: 7 on the D, 5 and 7 on the G, and then go up to the 8 on the B, back to the 5th, 7 on the G. Right? And that's like the second verse. So that's really the only variation, and then it's just the main groove. Now I'll show you a couple licks that I hear in there that you can kind of do, but really this song, as that groove kind of propels you along, you're going to find your own spots to do. I really encourage you to kind of make it your own. But cool thing, one thing you can do in there is when you're doing that groove is I hear this sometimes, he'll go. So just, you got your pentatonic there. Just slide from 7 to 9 on that G string, and then catch that 8 on the B. And then go back to the 7, 5 on the G, back to that A. It's kind of hard for me to pick it out when I'm not just grooving it, but you'll hear that, and then you'll hear when he goes. So that's when you that's kind of like a repeating one that he does quite often. So that one is just. So just from 9 to 8 going from the G string to the B string, right? And then hammering onto the A note again, right? And then 8, 10 on the 8 on the top E, 10 on the B. That's that A note right there. And then we're gonna go 8, 10, 11. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on for a minute and we can kind of groove to it. You can kind of hear some of these parts. kind of see how the groove goes on that. So enjoy working that one out.